Hello, rooted ones. Today, we're diving into some advanced contract topics that help refine your understanding of agreements and how to handle complex scenarios. Whether you're dealing with changes to contracts, replacing parties, or figuring out what evidence is allowed in court, these topics are essential for anyone navigating legal and business relationships. Let's break it down. 1. Accord and satisfaction. Resolving disputes with compromised contracts don't always go smoothly, and disputes can arise. Accord and satisfaction is a legal solution where both parties agree to settle the dispute with a new arrangement. How it works. Accord. This is the new agreement to resolve the issue. Example, a customer disputes a $1,000 bill and agrees to pay $800 instead. The $800 payment is the accord. Satisfaction. This is when the new agreement is completed. When the customer pays the $800, the original $1,000 obligation is satisfied. Why it matters. Accord and satisfaction allow parties to move forward without lengthy legal battles. It's a practical way to resolve disputes efficiently. 2nd, novation. Replacing parties in a contract. Sometimes one party in a contract needs to step away, but the agreement must continue. Novation is the process of replacing a party with a new one while keeping the contract alive. How it works. All parties involved must agree to the novation. The new party assumes the obligations of the original party. The original party is released from liability. Example, you lease a building but need to leave. You find someone to take over the lease and the landlord agrees. The new tenant replaces you in the contract and you're no longer responsible for rent payments. Why it matters. Novation provides flexibility in contracts, allowing businesses or individuals to adapt to changing circumstances without breaching agreements. 3rd, parol evidence rule, protecting the integrity of written contracts. When a contract is in writing, courts rely on the parol evidence rule to decide what can and cannot be considered in disputes about its terms. What is the parol evidence rule? This rule limits the use of outside evidence, such as oral agreements or prior negotiations, to interpret a written contract. Only the written terms in the final agreement are enforceable. When does it apply? The rule applies when the written contract is intended to be the complete and final agreement between the parties. Exceptions, evidence of fraud, mistake, or duress is allowed. Additional terms can be considered if the contract is incomplete or ambiguous. Example, if you sign a contract to buy a car for $10,000, but the seller verbally promised to include free repairs. The parol evidence rule prevents you from enforcing that verbal promise unless it's written in the contract. Why it matters. This rule protects the integrity of written agreements, ensuring that parties cannot later claim terms that were never officially agreed upon. Why these advanced topics are important. Accord and satisfaction helps resolve disputes without destroying relationships. Novation provides a way to adapt contracts to new circumstances while maintaining continuity. The parol evidence rule ensures clarity and trust in written agreements. These tools offer practical solutions for handling challenges that arise in business and personal contracts. Final thoughts. Contracts are not just about making agreements, they're about managing change and resolving disputes. By mastering these advanced topics, you're better equipped to navigate the complexities of real-world agreements. If this helped you understand how to handle advanced contract scenarios, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay rooted, stay informed, and keep growing.